We've all heard the stories: Bitcoin millionaires, Dogecoin to the moon. Cryptocurrency for many feels like a golden ticket to a new financial frontier. And it is exciting, it's innovative. But like any frontier, there's a dark side. A shadowy underbelly teeming with scams, fraud, and enough danger to make your head spin. Welcome to the Wild West of finance, where fortunes are made and lost in the blink of an eye. This isn't your grandma's stock market, this is crypto. Cryptocurrency, with its promise of decentralization and financial freedom, has exploded in popularity. But this rapid rise has attracted a different breed of outlaw. Scammers, hackers, and manipulators, all looking to exploit the system and vanish with your hard-earned money. They operate in the shadows, taking advantage of the lack of regulation and the complexity of the technology. Think it can't happen to you? Think again. In 2023 alone, over $24 billion vanished into thin air through illicit crypto activities. That's billion with a B. These aren't just numbers on a screen, these are real people, real lives devastated by the dark side of crypto. But don't despair, knowledge is power. By understanding the risks and learning how to protect yourself, you can navigate this new world safely and confidently. Consider this your crash course in crypto's underbelly. We're pulling back the curtain, exposing the scams, the dangers, and the things you absolutely need to know to survive. Let's talk scams, people. Crypto scams are as diverse as the people who fall for them. One popular scheme is the classic Ponzi, dressed up in digital drag. They promise ridiculously high returns, luring in unsuspecting victims with the age-old bait-easy money. But the only ones getting rich are the scammers at the top, paying off early investors with money from new recruits. It's a house of cards, and eventually it all comes crashing down. Then there's phishing, the digital equivalent of a wolf in sheep's clothing. You get an email, a text, maybe even a DM from what looks like a legitimate crypto platform. They need you to verify your account or claim a special bonus. But clicking that link is like opening the door to a digital vampire. They're after your login credentials, your private keys, the digital keys to your crypto kingdom. One wrong click, and poof, your crypto is gone. And let's not forget about fake ICOs, the flashy IPOs of the crypto world. A new project launches with a fancy website, a slick white paper, and promises of revolutionizing, well, everything. They generate hype, get everyone FOMOing, and convince you to invest early. But sometimes the only revolution happening is the one in your stomach when you realize you just bought a whole lot of nothing. Ah, meme tokens. The darlings of the internet, fueled by viral tweets and celebrity endorsements, Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, all these cute little coins that captured the hearts and wallets of millions. But remember, cuteness doesn't equal legitimacy. Meme tokens are especially vulnerable to a nasty little thing called a rug pull. Imagine a beautiful Persian rug, you're standing on it feeling like $1,000,000. Then suddenly someone yanks it out from under you and you're left flat on your face. That's a rug pull. Here's how it works. Developers create a token, hype it up on social media, get the price soaring, and then disappear. They vanish with all the investors' money, leaving behind a worthless token and a whole lot of broken dreams. Remember the Hawk token? Yeah, that was a rug pull. Influencer promoted it, people poured in millions, and then, poof! The value plummeted. Just like that. The meme token craze is a cautionary tale. Don't get swept up in the hype. Do your research, understand what you're investing in. Because in the world of crypto, today's meme coin could be tomorrow's biggest regret. Section 4. The invisible hand gone rogue market manipulation in the Wild West of crypto. Now let's talk about the puppet masters of the crypto world market makers. They're like the cool kids in school, the ones who decide what's cool and what's not. They provide liquidity, set prices, and basically control the flow of money. Sounds important, right? They are. But what happens when these power players decide to play dirty? Remember Movement Labs? They did this shady thing called a token dump. Basically, they sold off a massive chunk of their own token, causing the price to crash and burning everyone who had invested. It exposed a dark secret market makers can manipulate the market for their own gain. And there's not much transparency. This lack of transparency is a breeding ground for manipulation. We need clear rules, regulations, and oversight. We need to know who's pulling the strings and how their actions impact everyday investors. Because right now it's like playing a game of poker where you can't see your opponent's cards, and the dealer might be in on the game. Section 5. Your keys, your crypto, navigating the security minefield. Alright, enough doom and gloom, let's talk about how to protect yourself in this wild, wild west. The golden rule of crypto. Not your keys, not your coins. This means if you don't control your private keys, those secret codes that give you access to your crypto, you don't actually control your crypto. So what can you do? First, self-custody is your best friend. Think of it like storing your cash in a safe at home instead of leaving it in a bank. Hardware wallets are like Fort Knox for your crypto. They're physical devices that store your private keys offline, making it nearly impossible for hackers to access them. Second, become a password ninja. Strong passwords, two-factor authentication, treat them like gold, and watch out for phishing scams. Don't click on suspicious links. Don't give out your private keys to anyone. Remember, if someone is promising you free crypto or guaranteed returns, they're probably trying to scam you. Finally, be skeptical. Do your own research. Don't just follow the hype. Read reviews, check out the team behind a project, and understand the risks before you invest a single Satoshi. Section 6. The fight for crypto's sole regulation, transparency, and the future of finance. The crypto world is at a crossroads. We can either continue down the path of lawlessness and risk it becoming a haven for criminals, or we can fight for a future where crypto is safe, transparent, and accessible to all. We need regulations, but not the kind that stifles innovation. We need smart regulations that protect investors without crushing the spirit of decentralization that makes crypto so powerful. We need global cooperation because criminals don't respect borders, and neither should our efforts to stop them. The future of finance is being written right now, and we all have a role to play. We need to demand transparency from crypto companies, hold scammers accountable, and educate ourselves and each other about the risks and rewards of this new frontier. Crypto has the potential to revolutionize the world, but only if we're willing to fight for its soul. The time for complacency is over. The time for action is now.